The Rivers State House of Assembly reconvened on Thursday and went straight into business. The lawmakers resolved to probe the budget and spending by the administrator, retired Vice Admiral Iborete Bass, while commending President Tinubu for restoring democratic order in the state. Now, the legislators resolved that Governor Fubara should submit nominees to be considered as commissioners. Arise News correspondent Friday Oloko reports.
When Rivers State was carved out of the former Eastern region on May 27, 1967, by military decree under General Yakubu Gowon, its creation was born more out of identity and autonomy than politics. But decades later, the state has become a flashpoint for political hostilities. The recently lifted 6-month emergency rule imposed following a bitter power struggle between former Governor Nyesom Wike and his successor, Siminalayi Fubara, underscored the old adage that when two brothers fight, strangers reap the harvest. At its first plenary after the emergency rule, the Rivers State House of Assembly reconvened at its temporary complex in GRA Port Harcourt after the original chambers on Moscow Road were gutted by fire. The lawmakers said they must now scrutinize the budget, contract awards and expenditures carried out during the period since the 10th Assembly had no input as the emergency budget was passed by the National Assembly. The resolution to investigate was sponsored by 9 members and read by House Leader Honorable Major Jack.
Mr. Speaker, just to inform that there are several awards of contracts and funds spent from the consolidated revenue account of the state for the purposes during the emergency rule by the outgoing administrator, and that there is the need to come up with a true picture of what transpired. We wish to commend the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for restoring democratic institutions in the state.
Speaker Martins Amaiwule confirmed the House decision after a voice vote by 20 members, as Deputy Speaker was absent.
We have 7 prayers, and all members who spoke are in support of these prayers, particularly the one that has to do with the sending of names of nominees by the governor to this house for appointment as commissioners, the one that has to do with commending Mr. President, the one that has to do with looking at what transpired in the last 6 months by the administrator under the emergency rule. Members highlighted the fact that the administrator awarded contracts, spent taxpayers' money from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of Rivers State, and that there is need to look at what transpired, what funds came in, how they were spent, so that Rivers people will not be left out. Because as we speak, we have no idea of the totality of what transpired.
In addition to the financial probe, the lawmakers resolved to write to Governor Fubara demanding that he submits a list of commissioner nominees for appointment into the State Executive Council, a key step in rebuilding governance structures.
To ascertain what transpired in the last 6 months with regards to award of contracts and expenditure from the Consolidated Revenue. Mr. Speaker, this is very important.
Let me lend my voice to call on the Governor of Rivers State, Sir Siminalayi Fubara, GSSRS, to forward the list of his nominees for appointment as commissioners into the State Executive Council in line with the parley and the constitutional provision.
The political impasse in Rivers State, rooted in godfatherism, legislative paralysis, and what many now describe as violent democracy, left the state without a functional budget for half the year. As the Assembly adjourns until Monday, September 22nd, hopes are high among residents that calm will prevail, but tensions still linger. The question that remains is, who blinks first, Governor Fubara or the State House of Assembly?